Lastly, Rush Limbaugh opens his mouth, inserts his foot. Now he's claiming President Obama is not authentically black. We have audio from the Rush Limbaugh show. Let's listen.
Give me this down with the struggle business. He wasn't down with the struggle. That's the whole point. If you go back to 2008, the Democrats were wringing their hands because he wasn't authentically black. That's the reason the Reverend Sharp had a problem with him, and they wrote the column in the LA Times of the Magic Negro. He wasn't down with the struggle. He doesn't have slave blood. You know all that. You're the official Obama criticizer. What are you telling me?
All right. He doesn't have slave blood. So this is funny because, number one, the idea that if you don't come from slaves, you're not black is absurd. But number two, as found by the genealogists on Ancestry.com, not only is President Obama descended from slaves, one of his ancestors is the first documented slave, John Punch, which was revealed by the New York Times. Ladies and gentlemen, the president is not authentically black. What's Rush Limbaugh talking about at this point?
And what's he trying to do?
First, he's not white enough. Now he's not black enough. It's brilliant.
Now, I do have something to say about this. I'm not going to defend what Rush said. However, if he had used the term African American instead of black, let's say he didn't have an ancestor that was a slave.
Right.
You could make the case he doesn't have the same shared history in his ancestry that other African Americans have. I'm not saying that
so
that's
let's clarify.
good or bad or a
in
reason
other words,
to vote
what
for him.
Natan is saying is, if Rush Limbaugh had said something different, and if President Obama's family background was different,
No.
Then there may be something to it.
No.
Incredible, guys. We're really what a great statement.
You're not seeing the point I'm making.
Yeah.
It's totally incidental that in fact Obama has a slave ancestor. It could have easily not been the case, and that wouldn't have made you say anything different just now.
No, because Rush Limbaugh, let's be honest. I mean, let's talk frankly, guys, here. We're not here to wordsmith and play semantic arguments. Rush Limbaugh is talking about something else. Rush Limbaugh is talking about what the right stereotype is of someone who is really a black person, right? That's what's at the bottom of this.
Yeah, I think so.
Natan?
Yeah, however, it was the case that in 2008 during the campaign, there were African Americans who were making the same argument.
Okay. Just because the same way that I'll criticize a Democrat for being anti-gay, just because a black person says something about black people doesn't mean that they're the ultimate, the high and mighty authority on it, right? I mean,
what I'm saying is these people, and one of them appeared on the Stephen Colbert show, and he ripped them apart, which I quoted earlier. This was actually something that some people talked about. He doesn't share our history. He's not like us. He has the same skin color, but he doesn't have the same cultural history. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying people said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In reality,
I
he
agree
does
with
have
Natan.
the same history.
In reality, he does, and I agree with Natan that some people did say that. That's a statement of fact.
And let's just be clear that only Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson are the supreme authorities on if you're authentically black enough.
Let's take a break. A lot more stuff to talk about, including new polls, a new David meme image, and you're not going to believe it. What percentage of people, of Ohio Republicans, do you think credit Mitt Romney with the Osama bin Laden raid? You'll be surprised. Stay tuned.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.